Canadians might have seen this election coming, but at 36 days, it's the shortest campaign length allowed by law. That's just over a month. A real blink and you might miss it campaign. If you're in Calgary, here's what you need to know before heading to the polls. There's been one big change since the last election: ridings. In 2023, some boundaries were redrawn to reflect changes in population. It resulted in 5 new ridings across the country, 3 in Alberta, including one here in Calgary. Here's where riding stood just before Parliament was dissolved on March 23rd. And now, there's the new riding, Calgary McKnight, which takes a big chunk out of what used to be Calgary Skyview, and some from Forest Lawn. Calgary Forest Lawn doesn't exist anymore. Most of it has been replaced by Calgary East, which is back after a 10-year hiatus. And Calgary Rocky Ridge is now called Calgary Crowfoot. If you look closely, you'll see a number of boundaries changed across the city. So even if you've lived in the same riding for years, you'll want to double check that it's still your riding this election. And if you've moved here in the past few years, make sure that you're registered to vote, because experts are expecting that some races in Alberta could be more competitive than they've been in a long time.
I'm finding the Alberta race a bit more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I always knew that if the Liberals pulled ahead, that we'd see more seats in play.
There's 4 ridings that are in play in Calgary, and that may be a record.
What they mean by in play is that these 4 ridings are shaping up to be battlegrounds, places that could buck Alberta's long-standing trend of going blue. Calgary Centre. There's talk the riding could flip from blue to red, even though Conservative incumbent Greg McLean is running for a 3rd time. In 2019, he defeated then Liberal Cabinet Minister Kent Hare. Calgary Confederation is usually a Conservative stronghold, but the incumbent MP, Len Weber, isn't seeking re-election, so it could be up for grabs. And then there's the new riding, Calgary McKnight. It's where the city's only Liberal incumbent MP, George Chahal, is running, which leaves Chahal's old riding of Calgary Skyview wide open, but with many voters who voted Liberal the last time around.
Let's be clear, Conservatives are still going to win the vast majority of seats in Alberta. But for Liberals, a win is not winning half the seats. It's winning 4 or 5, and they have a shot at doing so. And so for all of those who say, well, Alberta never matters in elections, it's because all of the seats go Conservative. In this case, that may not happen. In previous elections, maybe we've had 2 ridings, maybe we've had 3 ridings. This shows you just the state of play that has changed, not just a dramatic reversal in the polls nationwide, but that has also hit Alberta. So Alberta is not unique here. What is occurring in Ontario and BC and Quebec is also occurring here.
If either of the 2 leading parties pulls significantly forward, if the momentum really shifts in favor of one or the other of these parties during the election campaign, that could make the difference in at least some of these competitive ridings in Alberta overall, the ones in Edmonton as well as the ones in Calgary. Edmonton Strathcona is going to go NDP. The joke is that it's the strongest, most secure riding in the whole country. But the other ones are in play, in part because some former NDP voters are willing to flip to the Liberals.
As of March 27th, CBC's poll tracker projected 5 to 10 seats for the Liberals in Alberta. That's a significant shift from just over a month before. On February 23rd, the poll tracker had the Liberals at 0 to 1 seat in the province. Of course, it's an election. All that could change as the race continues. There are still weeks ahead of April 28th when voters head to the polls. Helen Pike, CBC News, Calgary.